I lied. We knew you lied, John, we knew. No, I lied, I said that would be the last video. This is the last one. It's my water spot. Look, I wanted to go, I figured on the way back, I'll do one more. There's a lot of traffic on the highway. And sometimes it's a wreck, but I noticed, I think it was the sheriff's department pulled somebody over, fine. But he pulled him over all the way from the left lane. Look, we used to practice safety with emergency vehicles, and he did something very dangerous. Because he was all the way on the left lane, and of course there was a lot of traffic, you know, stop, bumper to bumper. Because he pulled over a truck, but he cut across all the lanes to pull that truck over. That was really dangerous, to be honest with you. I was going to stop at the courthouse and do the last video, but it's like a lot of background noise. Sound maybe like, oh, it was Constance Luedicke running through the halls, proclaiming, "Don't report crimes by police officers." Yeah, that must have been what the background noise was. I saw Dirk is on my side. I'm on the other side of my prayer spot. Dirk has been back there every day this week. I have not been at Timmons or on the street. Look, Dirk is not. Why is he there? I'm sure somebody said, "Look, John's upset with you." I think I'm not mad at Dirk. I forgive Dirk. I think he's trying to make amends, or maybe he's worried I report things. Because now he's back there every day. And the few times I did run into him at Timmons, he's trying, like, I avoid him. Not out of fear, but then he's trying to talk to me, so he's at that spot all week, every day, right on the other side. I just saw Guitar Jason. I was going to stop under here. So we'll end with this one. Of the good songs we're on. Much of what's going on is out here. We have a lot of illegal activity. Chief Martin's finger dogs loose. John, are you nuts? No, this is a collaboration of like 3 days. Some of the things were serious things. So look, I like Crow. He's a good friend. I think he don't mind me speaking. I repeated that story of meet up. He's kind of like proud of that story. Man, I got hit so hard. What story is that, John? Miss Luedicke? The officer I tried to report to you, his name was Officer Tommy Nichols. Officer Nichols with the... he jumped my friend Shannon Case, meaning assaulted him, targeted him, assaulted him at the Stripes right down the street. And the reason he did it, I told the whole story before. I'm not doing that. I'm thinking maybe Miss Luedicke's needed to be informed why it's important when you have a person say, look, there's a lot going on with someone. It's important for you never to tell that client to shut up and never bring it up again. Or to speak about illegal activities by cops. Because it's a part of society when you bring stuff like that in. But I was thinking, when Crow told me that story, he knew I flipped later when I made those videos. I said, what are you doing back in the bluff? I'm here to... I can't say. You guys are going to keep you all guessing. I never made threats, nor will I make threats. But I have said before on video, I said, you know, if a cop off-duty targeted me and did that, meaning in this particular instance, the officer beat my friend up at the Stripes, Shannon Case, a.k.a. Crow, because he stopped him earlier in the day and didn't find drugs on him. This happened. This got me. So he was mad. And I guess he felt if he gets out of uniform, then he can do something like that. Because Angel used to tell me he said that to multiple people. Like if he got in an altercation, he would say, I'll take my uniform off and we'll go at it. Whistler used to tell me, be careful, John, because he's karate and all. If you laid your hands on me illegally, or if you raped my daughter illegally, I would have every right to beat the shit out of you in self-defense. In self-defense. If you got out of uniform and committed an assault on me illegally, I would have every right in self-defense to defend myself. And there are some, even the Colder Times editorials, they had some editorials saying that citizens should never defend themselves, even if it had to do, they were talking about bad instances that we had in the city where officers were shot, and of course that's bad, I don't agree with that. But there are indeed times where you had, in the history of criminal corruption, where you had officers kill people, not in cases of, but just actually do hits on people, killing them, targeting them. Look, a citizen would have every right. I don't carry my gun with me. But I just thought, as I stopped, I said, if some officer off duty just came up to me right now and banged me in the head just because it was an assault, I would, in all right, have the right to kick his ass. And some of you speak in self-defense. I never targeted, and so Ms. Luedicke. By now you have seen some of these videos. That was the history of the officer that I tried to speak to you about. So in my mind, because you violated your own oath as a lawyer, disgraced your office in the city, the position you hold, I believe you are incapable of, I believe you committed a crime by telling me to keep silent on criminal activity by CCPD. I believe you did indeed commit a crime by telling me that. And I don't believe any of these things are a joke or something that you laugh about. And some of you that have heard the videos now this day too, those who are patient enough to go through them all, I want to end. Now you see some of the role in some of those things, those verses about. Is there really, I would never hear a male lawyer or a male judge say, well, or even a female judge or a female lawyer say to a male, if a male was sexually assaulted by a female or made a complaint, this woman sexually assaulted me. I understand it's more difficult, but whatever it would be. I don't think a female lawyer would ever tell the male victim of an accusation that he's accusing a woman. I don't think the female lawyer would ever say something like, well, this male who says this female accused him, we understand that the female's accusations are false. But this male he's upset, and so we're going to go ahead and, defend this male. A female lawyer, she would say, you lied. You lied. You said that woman assaulted you sexually. Or that that female lawyer made an inappropriate request of you. Most female lawyers and female judges would simply look at, no, it's not true. So there is a role that's played that because of their gender, maybe they're incapable of rising above the vagina monologues. Vagina is a perfectly fine word to use. And in society we have differences between men and female. And you don't choose your gender. You might identify differently, but your gender is your gender. So for a good female lawyer, I don't think a good female lawyer would ever say to a male client, don't ever report copycats. Because that one case you might not be familiar with, that's why I repeated it. That same officer did indeed beat the shit out of my friend Shannon Case. And that was known by the department. And it was an assault. There was a history out here. There's a history out here. So we'll end it with this last one, because many of my long-term blog watchers know about a lot of that. It's possible that some newer viewers, because their names have been posted on the blog, might just come across it. Those were some of the severe cases that took place for a very long period of time with the CCPD. And it wasn't just like a one-time incident. It was like a very long history of that. I'd assume that Ms. Luedicke and others would prefer for citizens to be assaulted by officers, or to be maybe sexually molested by officers. I assume Ms. Luedicke would prefer that, because the statement was, don't report any crimes or criminal activity by cops to me. And if you are thinking of hiring that woman, I think she should have her law license removed for that one particular day. Okay? So we'll end that there. I'll walk back. The only reason Dirk is there, he's hoping to, I'm not after Dirk. I see now he's just hoping to run into me to keep talking, and because that's the few times I've seen him at Timmons last week, he's just wanting to talk to me. So I'm sure somebody must have said, oh, look, Jerome's kind of gone off the rails in some of the posts. But you avoid. I'm not mad at Dirk, but you avoid people that maybe they're unable to watch what they say. And maybe they do it because that's the way they are. Maybe they don't mean the things they say. But it's best for me to just not be mad at Dirk. When he talked to me a few times, come up to me, I was very nice to him. He could see I have to avoid him for his benefit. It's very pretty here. Okay, we'll end with that. There were a couple of good songs, but we'll end with that one.